Hello, fourth graders. You guys have been working hard on researching a country, and you've probably been working hard on finishing up your country booklets as well. So, this video is a reminder on how we can make our writing even better by editing it. So, let's remind ourselves what it means to edit our writing. So, we use the acronym CUPS to help us edit our writing. And editing means to make our writing neater, easier to read, and make sense. So, we can edit our writing by using the acronym CUPS. So as you are reading through your country booklet, I want you to take some time on each page to look at your capitalization. Did you capitalize proper nouns, beginning of sentences? And a lot of the capitalization in your book should be the name of the country or the holidays that you talked about. So any proper nouns need to be capitalized. Also, usage. Usage has to do with using correct nouns and verbs. If you're talking about the history of your country, you're going to be using past tense verbs because you're talking about the history. The P stands for punctuation. So as you're editing your writing, you are looking at the punctuation marks that you used. Make sure you're not writing one huge run-on sentence. You need to stop after each fact and use an end mark. And then finally, S is spelling. So checking your spelling to make sure that you spelled everything correctly. So I decided to study Ireland because I want to go to Ireland maybe even this year at some point. And I don't know much about the country, so I wanted to research this country a little bit more. So I spent some time researching Ireland, and here's just a little bit of my research. So I took this information and I wrote a page on culture. So I'm going to show you my page on culture. Here's the traditional dress as well. And I want you to see what kind of writing I have and if I made any mistakes that have to do with capitalization, usage, punctuation, and spelling. So, culture. It says, the first people settled in Ireland in 6000 BC. Vikings invade Ireland in the 800s. In 1948, most of this country became independent. One historical fact about Ireland is that in 1348, the Black Plague kills 30% of the country's population. A cultural tradition in Ireland is celebrating St. Patrick's Day on March 17th, the day he died. Some traditions are to wear green so leprechauns don't see and pinch you. People also eat corned beef and cabbage and watch a parade with Irish dancers. So what I want you to do now is pause the video, and I want you to find some mistakes that I may have made with capitalization, usage, punctuation, and spelling. So go ahead and pause the video and see what mistakes you can find. Okay, so hopefully you were able to find some of my mistakes. So I want to go through and I want to first check my capitalization. So I want to make sure I capitalized every first letter of the first word of every sentence. So here's a sentence, the first people, Vikings is capitalized. One, make sure that looks like a capitalized O. Okay, so my second paragraph, I start with a lowercase a. So I want to erase that and fix that mistake. Okay, it's capitalized. Okay, so capitalization. I also want to take a look at some of my proper nouns. So the name of the country, Ireland, should be capitalized all throughout my writing. And I wrote about St. Patrick's Day, which is a holiday. That's a proper noun. So I want to make sure those are capitalized as well. So every time I write the name of the country, which is Ireland, I want to make sure that's capitalized. Which is a holiday, I want to make sure that that's capitalized because that's a proper noun. I think that's it. Okay. There's one more proper noun, and it is the name of a month. So any month is a proper noun. So like March, I want to make sure that March is capitalized. So if you wrote any dates in your country booklet, make sure the month is capitalized. Okay, next part of CUPS is usage. So remember, usage has to do with using nouns and verbs correctly. So a lot of these two paragraphs are about the past, about history. So if I wrote about Ireland's history, I want to make sure it is written with past tense verbs. So the first people settled in Ireland in 6000 BC. Vikings invade Ireland in the 800s. Invade is in present tense. I want to change this to past tense, so I'm going to add a D so it has an ED ending to make it past tense. And in 1948, most of this country became independent. One historical fact about Ireland is that in 1348, the Black Plague kills is present tense, so I want to make sure that is past tense. I'm going to add an ED ending, killed 30% of the country's population. Okay, next I want to take a look at punctuation. So I want to make sure that I have an end mark at the end of every sentence. I also want to make sure I use all of these punctuation marks correctly in my writing. So as I reread my writing here, the first people settled in Ireland in 6000 BC. Make sure I have a period in between B and C. Vikings invaded Ireland in the 800s. In 1948, so I have two different facts here, but I didn't put a period at the end of this sentence. In 1948, this is a whole new thought, which means that is a new sentence, so I want to make sure my I is capitalized too. In 1948, most of this country became independent. One historical fact about Ireland is that in 1348, the Black Plague killed 30% of the country's population. I forgot my end mark here, so I'm going to add a period. And countries shows possession. It's their population. So I need to add an apostrophe right here. A cultural tradition in Ireland is celebrating St. Patrick's Day on March 17th, the day he died. Some traditions are to wear green so leprechauns don't see and pinch you. People also eat, those are two different facts. So this is the end of my thought and the beginning of another thought or another fact. So this is a new sentence. I need to capitalize people. People also eat corned beef and cabbage and watch a parade with Irish dancers. That's the end of my thought, so I need a period. Okay, now we want to finish up CUPS, editing our writing with correct spelling. This is kind of hard, especially since we are writing out our facts. So I want to make sure that I'm spelling some of these things correctly by looking back into my research. So when I was reading through this, I noticed that this says independent, but I meant to say independent. Independent. So one way I can fix this is by sounding out independent. I missed a couple letters. Independent. And I could double check my work by looking online to make sure that I spelled this word correctly. I also noticed down here leprechauns. That doesn't look right to me. And I don't remember how to spell leprechauns. So I'm going to go back into my research. To find the word leprechaun, to make sure I'm spelling it correctly. So I'm going to go back into country research websites, and I found a lot of my information on this first website. So I'm going to scroll down and I'm going to find Ireland. There it is. And I don't remember where I read about leprechauns. So I'm going to scroll down here. Oh yeah, St. Patrick's Day. So I'm going to click on St. Patrick's Day. And instead of scrolling through here, I can press Control F and I can look up this word. So I know leprechaun starts with L-E-P. There it is. leprechaun. Okay, so I'm going to go back to my booklet, and I did spell it incorrectly, so I'm going to fix that. And leprechaun is spelled L-E-P-R-E-C-H-A-U-N-S. Okay, so now I'm going to go back to my writing, and now leprechauns is spelled correctly. I'm going to read through my writing one more time to make sure that I have everything correct. So this is my culture paragraph.
The first people settled in Ireland in 6000 BC. Vikings invaded Ireland in the 800s. In 1948, most of this country became independent. One historical fact about Ireland is that in 1348, the Black Plague killed 30% of the country's population. I'm going to change that to an exclamation mark, that's a really difficult fact to read. A cultural tradition in Ireland is celebrating St. Patrick's Day on March 17th, the day he died. Some traditions are to wear green so leprechauns don't see and pinch you. People also eat corned beef and cabbage and watch a parade with Irish
dancers. Okay, I think that this section is completed. All I have to do is go back and color my illustration here, make sure that my captions are correct, and then this page is done. So what I need to do next is I want to go through the rest of my booklet and practice cups to edit my writing.